Imagine building a business without manufacturing the products, without owning the stores, without employing every person who creates the service. Your company simply connects the people who need something with the people who provide it. At first, that sounds smaller than owning the entire supply chain. But the opposite can happen, because once enough people depend on the network itself can become the most valuable asset. This is one of the most powerful ideas in the digital economy. The business doesn't necessarily own everything that happens inside the market. It owns the architecture that allows the market to happen. For most of economic history, scale required physical infrastructure. If you wanted more customers, you needed more stores. More production required more factories. More geographic reach required more warehouses, offices, employees, and transportation. The internet changed one crucial variable. It made coordination dramatically cheaper. A digital platform could connect people who might never meet, in places that might be thousands of kilometers apart. The physical world didn't disappear, but a new layer appeared above it. A layer made of software, information, identity, payments, search, reputation, and communication. And then something unusual happens. A digital network can become more useful as more people join it. A marketplace with 10 sellers may be interesting. With 10,000 sellers, it becomes something completely different. A social network with a few hundred users has limited value. A network connecting hundreds of millions becomes difficult to ignore. More participants create more potential connections. More connections create more activity. More activity attracts more participants, and that creates a loop. This is the network effect. It is one of the most important forces behind digital business. The important part is not simply having many users. It is what those users create for one another. Buyers attract sellers. Sellers attract buyers. Creators attract audiences. Audiences attract more creators. Developers build applications because users exist. Users stay because applications exist. Every side of the network can reinforce another side. This creates a flywheel. And once the flywheel becomes powerful enough, growth can become self-reinforcing. The business is no longer just acquiring customers. The customers themselves are helping build the value of the business. This is where the opportunity becomes interesting for entrepreneurs. Instead of asking, "What product should I sell?" ask a different question. Who needs to be connected? Maybe businesses need specialized suppliers. Maybe customers need trusted experts. Maybe professionals need a better way to find clients. Maybe a fragmented industry needs a central marketplace. Maybe a community needs infrastructure. The opportunity can exist in the gap between two groups that already have value but lack an efficient way to find each other. And this doesn't necessarily require millions of users. One of the biggest misconceptions about network businesses is that every network must be enormous. A specialized network can be extremely valuable if the participants have strong reasons to interact. Consider a narrow professional industry. The audience may be smaller, but every connection could be economically meaningful. A specialized marketplace can understand its users better. A niche community can build stronger trust. A vertical platform can solve problems that a general platform ignores. Sometimes the opportunity isn't to build the biggest network, it's to build the most useful one. Over time, something even more valuable begins to accumulate. Relationships, transactions, reputation, behavioral information, search patterns, customer preferences, Business histories. The platform becomes familiar with the ecosystem it coordinates. That knowledge can make the network more useful. And as the network becomes more useful, participants have more reasons to stay. This creates another form of advantage. The asset isn't only the software. The asset is the network of relationships operating through the software.
This creates a fascinating competitive advantage. Software can often be copied, features can be reproduced, interfaces can be redesigned, but a living network is much harder to duplicate. A competitor can build a similar application tomorrow. What they cannot instantly manufacture is years of relationships, transactions, reputation, habits, trust, and activity. That is why digital businesses with strong networks can become extraordinarily difficult to challenge. The technology may be visible, the moat is often invisible.
But network power comes with another side. When one network becomes essential, it can become a gatekeeper. Businesses may depend on access to customers. Customers may depend on access to services. Developers may depend on access to users. And the company operating the network gains influence over the rules of participation. This is where network effects can evolve into platform power. The same architecture that creates enormous value can also concentrate enormous control. And understanding that tension is essential to understanding the modern digital economy. The next great online business empire may therefore look very different from the companies of the industrial age. It may not own the factories. It may not employ everyone who creates the value. It may not even produce the products moving through its system. Instead, it may own the network that connects the participants. It may become the place where transactions happen, where information flows, where reputation accumulates, where businesses find customers, and where entire markets organize themselves. That is a different kind of power, not ownership of every component, ownership of the architecture connecting the components.
So the entrepreneurial question changes. Don't always ask what you can sell. Ask what you can connect. Who has a problem finding someone? Who has something valuable but cannot reach the right customers? Which industry remains fragmented? Where is trust difficult to establish? Where is information scattered across dozens of places? And where would bringing those participants together create more value than they could create separately? Those gaps are where networks are born.
The internet didn't simply create a cheaper way to sell products. It created a cheaper way to connect economic activity. And sometimes the most valuable business isn't the one selling inside the market. It is the one building the network that makes the market work. The most powerful businesses of the digital age may not simply create products, they create connections. They reduce friction between people, information, capital, services, and opportunity. And when those connections become valuable enough, they can turn into networks. Networks can become platforms. Platforms can become infrastructure. And infrastructure can become economic power. That is why the next great business opportunity may not be hiding inside a product. It may be hiding inside a connection that nobody has organized yet. This is NEXNET, decoding networks, architecting wealth.